I told you, this thing is bigger than Nino Brown, and I gotta listen.
Order.
If I'm going down,
Order in
I'm
the
taking a
court.
whole lot
I
of
said
people with
order
me.
in the court.
Nino Brown Boxing, I'm back in the building. Shout out to the LDBC. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. So, I dropped my video a couple of days ago after it was official that Jarrett Hurd was pulling out of the Julian J-Rock Williams fight. And now it's a lot of rumors floating around that Erislandy Lara is going to be his next opponent. Is anything official yet? No. But hey man, the talk's been floating around, and just based off how the 154-pound division has been going and how the PBC is structured and how future fights with Tony Harrison and Jermell Charlo are happening, it only makes sense for the newly crowned WBA regular champion to face the unified champion in Julian J-Rock Williams. Now, I was just listening to Fanon video about this matter. Fanon shouted me out. Shout out to you, Fanon, International Boxing. And my whole thing on it is, overall, like, I'm disappointed that Jarrett Hurd pulled out. Do I believe that it was the smartest move he can make? Absolutely. But did I feel confident in Jarrett Hurd in the rematch? Absolutely. But moving forward, the man made his call, and the only thing I can do is live with that. Now, when it comes to this fight, like Fanon did say, Erislandy Lara's style is completely different from Jarrett Hurd. Erislandy Lara will not be there to be hit. Erislandy Lara has decent power, but the number one thing that I'm noticing about this fight is Erislandy Lara is not the most popular guy. Julian J-Rock Williams is not the most popular guy, and I got a feeling going forward, especially if this fight is made official, a lot of the prediction videos, they're going to be extremely honest, because the hype of a guy, the popularity of a guy it won't sway people's predictions. It won't sway their boxing knowledge. But now when it comes to who I believe will win this fight, it's hard to say. I hold Erislandy Lara in high regards. I've held him in high regards for a long period of time. But I also hold Julian J-Rock Williams in high regards, especially after he beat my guy Jarrett Hurd. Now, just based off looking at this fight stylistically, I slightly favor Erislandy Lara, and this fight will be the epitome of triangle theories don't work, especially if Lara is able to pull it off. The thing that comes to my mind is, one, if Erislandy Lara pulls it off, it just makes it makes the 154-pound division the most exciting division in boxing. It's the most competitive because these guys are fighting each other, they're taking losses, and they're beating their next opponent that they lost to in their last opponent, whatever the case may be. It's highly competitive, and it makes Jarrett Hurd loss downplay a little bit because J-Rock potentially lost. Now, well, hypothetically, of course, if J-Rock lost in this hypothetical situation, but I'm trying to figure out, because Fanon mentioned that J-Rock should do what Jarrett Hurd did and put in a rematch clause. The only thing that I'm worried about is, to my understanding, the winner of Tony Harrison, Jermell Charlo, I thought those contracts were already signed for the winner of Hurd Williams to fight those guys. So, like, I don't know what the PBC has structured in the background, but if it's still the same expectation for the winner of Williams' next fight to face the winner of Tony Harrison and Jermell Charlo, then that makes things extremely interesting. Because if Erislandy Lara officially gets this fight, I'm officially rooting for Charlo to beat Tony Harrison, because I've been pushing for a Jermell Charlo Erislandy Lara fight for so long. And a lot of people, they never speak on this fight. And my thing is, I will keep saying it, and I'm going to say it till my face turn blue. I'm going to say it until they make the fight happen, or I'm going to say it until one of these guys retire. Jermell Charlo had the opportunity to unify with Erislandy Lara before Lara and Hurd decided that they were going to unify. The opportunity was there, but the opportunity wasn't taken. Now, some people may say, well, Nino Brown Boxing, why don't you fault Erislandy Lara in that as well? I was like, well, the reason I don't fault Erislandy Lara is because he unified with someone else. And it wasn't a cherry pick because he lost the fight. So the only conclusion that I can come to is Charlo was not as interested in unifying with Erislandy Lara. When I say Charlo, I mean Jamel Charlo. But Jamel Charlo has a chance of redemption. He has this fight coming up with Tony Harrison. I believe it's going to be a good fight. I believe it's going to be a competitive fight. But similar to J-Rock and Jared Hurd, stylistically, I feel Tony Harrison has Jamel Charlo's number. Now, some people would say, well, they don't feel that's the case. But that, to me, that goes back to the whole popularity contest and who's the more popular guy, who's the fan favorite. I feel like when it comes to the fan favorites, things aren't judged from a logical perspective. It's a lot more emotionally driven when the guy is a favorite. Now, some people like to say to me, well, Nino Brown Boxing, you know, when it comes to Jamel, a lot of people don't like Jamel. They were saying Jamel was on steroids. They were saying that he was a cokehead. I get that, and I believe that's a complete bullshit. I've never been the one to accuse Jamel and Jamal of being on any type of drugs. I just think that's absolute bullshit. I'm not going to do that to any guy until he fails the test. But when it comes to the brothers, they love Jamel Charlo. He's a popular pick. And you look at this whole landscape of the 154-pound division, I will continue to say the best division in boxing. Erislandy Lara is not the fan favorite. Jared Hurd is not the fan favorite. Julian J-Rock Williams, he's not the fan favorite either. His popularity did rise because he beat another guy in Jared Hurd that wasn't a fan favorite. But at the same time, he's not the fan favorite either, because we all know how the fans turned on him when he got stopped by Jamal Charlo, but he worked his way back. We all know Austin Trout isn't a fan favorite. Now, the young guy, Erickson Lubin, he already lost to Jamel, so that's just a body on Jamel's resume at this point in time. But Jamel Charlo is the fan favorite, and ultimately, I want Erislandy Lara to face Jamel Charlo in a unification bout. Now, unfortunately, even though the PBC doesn't recognize the WBO belt, unfortunately, Jaime Munguia wants no part of any of this smoke that's happening at the 154-pound division. He is the odd man out. But you know what? Jaime Munguia is the guy to shed light on the fact, well, it exposes Oscar De La Hoya every time he says the Golden Boy likes to make the best fights. But then it's like, well, Oscar, your guy Jaime Munguia is not fighting any of the champions at 154. Now, recently, I've seen some reports that Jaime Munguia plans on vacating and moving up to 160 to face Jamal Charlo, which I feel is complete bullshit. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't have any type of belief of that at all. I feel like Jaime Munguia, his team, Golden Boy, are completely clout chasing, using the WBC middleweight champion Jamal Charlo name simply just to gain some notoriety, just to put their name out there. And they're probably going to move up, if they move up, and face someone that's nowhere near the caliber of Jamal Charlo. But back to my main point, Julian Williams versus Erislandy Lara, I feel like it's going to be a spectacular fight. I didn't hear of any type of reports on this when I dropped my original video saying that would be a great fight. That was simply because Erislandy Lara recently won that WBA regular belt, and consolidating those titles would be a great move. Hopefully it happens. I would love to see it. Hopefully it happens in December. It's Nino Brown Boxing. Shout out to the LDBC, and I'm out.